My name is Trish. Let's talk about cooking on the homestead. A homesteader today is going to be cooking a lot like our great-grandmothers cooked. Grandma would go down to the basement or out to the root cellar and see what she had a lot of that she needed to eat, what was maybe getting soft and should be consumed before it went bad. Grandma would go out to the garden and see what was ready for harvesting, what was at its peak of perfection, or what maybe had a little damage on it and should be brought in and consumed before it went bad. Now a modern cook sits on the couch and watches Food Network or looks on their phone and sees some recipe that they think sounds good, and they go to the store and buy the ingredients, or maybe they buy a frozen version of that thing and they don't even cook it. If you're going to be living the homestead lifestyle, you need to change the mindset and think more like Grandma about how she cooked. And that is why I'm bringing you this recipe today. This is the ultimate Dutch comfort food. I learned it from my mother, who was from Holland. And it's perfect for the homesteader because it's infinitely adaptable. You have your basic groups, but you can substitute in different options. And everything here can either be found growing in the garden or in common storage most of the year. So we're going to start with the root vegetables. So I've got some potatoes. I could have pulled these out of the root cellar in January. In this case, it's August, and I'm using the ones I just dug out of the garden because somebody got a little excited with the pitchfork and pierced some of these potatoes like they were rock stars. So I don't know who did that. So I'll be using those 5 potatoes because they're damaged. Then I also have some rutabagas. Now you can use all potatoes in this, and that works fine. I like rutabagas. I like turnips. I didn't think I did. But when I grew up and cooked them a different way, I decided I did like them. So if you have foods that you tasted when you were a child that your grandma made and you hated them, maybe try cooking them again a different way. And I will tell you, I ordered the turnips and the rutabagas from Asher Standard and tried them before I bothered any or wasted any garden space on something if I still detested them. I don't. I love them, and now I'm going to grow more of them. So these are ones I grew, and they've got some damage. There's one of them's got a big crack and somewhere. So I'm going to clean those up, get rid of the bug damage, and we'll eat what's left of that. Next item you're going to want is your allium. I had a bunch of onions that the tops fell over too soon, so they didn't get any real size on them. I look like a better gardener if all the onions I have in storage are big ones. So I'm eating up these little ones. So it's perfect. It can be a white onion like this. You can use yellow onions or red onions. They can be sweet onions or storage onions. You can even use bunching onions or walking onions or shallots. Those are all good. Next thing you're going to want is your brassica. Now it's summer and I'm using kale because that's what I have, and my cabbages aren't ready yet. If this was January, you might be pulling a cabbage out of common storage or out of the refrigerator to use. You could also use the soft, more tender leaves of broccoli. You can use broccoli. You can use kohlrabi. Both of those are going to change the texture of the dish, but it will still be delicious. The next thing you're going to need, if you're going to add meat, I do make this dish meatless sometimes on Fridays. In this case, I'm going to have meat. It's going to be this leftover bacon. It's only 3 strips here, so it should be just perfect because the meat is really a seasoning. And you can use sausages. You can use ham. You could use smoked pork chop. I did make this dish with leftover corned beef as the meat one time, and it was delicious, but it was Irish. It was good. And then last thing you need is your cheese. It's a Dutch dish, needs cheese. Mom would not have used medium cheddar. Mom would have used Edam, or as she called it, Gouda. In this country, we say Gouda. So I'm going to get all of this stuff ready. I'm going to cut the ribs out of my kale and chop the kale leaves up. I save the ribs because they're delicious when they're lacto-fermented. I'm going to peel some of the potatoes, not all of them, and then I'm going to dice those. I'm going to clean all the bug damage and everything from the rutabagas and dice what's left. And then I'm going to slice my onion. I'm going to boil the rutabaga in salted water. And when it's about half done, I'll add the potatoes. Rutabagas take longer to cook than potatoes. And when those are all done, I'm going to add my chopped kale into that same water and wilt it, cook it in that water for just a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to saute the bacon, and I'll probably chop it up first just to save myself a paper towel later. So I'll chop it up, saute it, get it completely rendered. In the same pan, I'm going to add my sliced onion and saute that until it's translucent and then starting to brown. I could add some garlic in there. It's not traditional, but it does taste good. I don't know if I will yet. And when that's all ready, I'm going to drain out my root vegetable and kale, get that well drained, and I'm going to add that to the hot pan with the bacon and the onion and the bacon grease. Add some shredded cheese over the top of that, and then it's all going to get sauteed. It's going to be a shaggy and really delicious combination, and you're going to love it. Bacon and my onions sauteed here. They look perfect. This is all boiled to perfection. Makes a big noise. I'm going to mix it up really well. I'm going to add the cheese, and I'm going to keep stirring that until everything is rough and shaggy and the cheese is melting. And it's going to be great. So here's one interesting thing. There's cultures all over the world that have a similar dish to this. I think what you find in Great Britain called bubble and squeak is almost the same combination of ingredients and arranged a little differently. Oh, look here. I've got help in the kitchen. Yeah, she's my cleanup dog. She saw that I flipped a potato out when I was carrying on. Good job, KK. Good girl. Yeah.